Well, good morning. On our way to the coffee shop for my morning routine. Looks like I need a little gas. I'll have to stop and get a little gas on the way there. Let's see if this mud is still here. As you can see, their pole was hit by a car. A drunk driver hit the pole, snapped it in half, and I guess they're in the middle of repairing it. It's still, as you could see, it was still hanging by the wires. However, power was only interrupted for about 5 minutes, so kudos to Florida Power and Light, how quickly they got everything going. I was very impressed at the response. They had the road closed off for about a couple hours. They had about 3 or 4 bucket trucks. Yeah, very prompt response to everything, to the emergency, and generally FPL is very, very good about repairing service outages. I'll give them that. It's a pretty good company. Some people like to complain about the rates are higher than they used to be, and they may be, but you know, they're still we still pay one of the lowest power rates in the country here in Central Florida, at least on the coast here. I think Duke Energy has Orlando, but I think we pay anywhere from 15 to 19 cents a kilowatt hour, which is very low. And I'm happy about that, since I drive an electric car and have to air condition my house during a large portion of the year. So I'm happy that the rates are reasonable. Service is pretty good after service outages such as storms and drunk drivers snapping poles in half. So hats off to FPL. So far they do a pretty good job. Beautiful day here in Central Florida. Probably going to rain later, but you could say that just about about any day in the summertime here. It's nice riding in the morning, though. First one of these I've been able to get out in a week or a week and a half because of weather. It's been pretty stormy and rainy for a week and a half, and then my ride yesterday was beautiful, but the microphone set up the DJI Mic 2 I tried it with the Ace Pro, and it just simply could not get it to work. It was distorted. It was like it wasn't quite synced up. I had the mic level on the Ace Pro as low as I could get it, minus 18, and it still just didn't work. So I've gone back to the Osmo Action 4 for the time being, and until there's something better, as far as I'm concerned, that's what I'm going to be using. Let's go over here. The NC750 has a rather unique arrangement for the gas tank. It's back here. So I always go with 87 with this motorcycle, just a regular low test. Seems to work fine. Takes about, I think it's got about a 2.4, 2.7, something like that gallon tank, which is one of the things I would prefer, that it be larger. Still have a little bit in there apparently. That's about it. Nice things about riding a motorcycle. It's a very economical way to travel. Okay, full tank. Continuing our voyage to the coffee shop. I'm not wearing the full gear today. I'm just willing to take the risk, I guess. It's just so hot in Central Florida this time of year, especially later in the day, when riding with the full jacket. Even the mesh jacket is just sweaty. So I do have gloves and a helmet on. Of course, I won't ride without them, but I just am foregoing the jacket. And I guess giving up a little bit of protection there, but I guess it's an acceptable trade-off for me with the comfort of riding in shirt sleeves. I know it's risky. This NC 750 is the dual clutch transmission version, and it shifts so smoothly. A lot of times the only way you know you've shifted is by looking at the indicator, the gear indicator, to see which gear you're in. I've gotten to where I can feel the shift because I'm used to the motorcycle, and I can generally know which gear I'm in by the feel, but not always. Sometimes, especially under a low throttle load, on their very gradual acceleration, or where the computer in the DCT has time to predict your shift point and your rev match and all that kind of thing. It's so smooth you don't even know it. You don't even know that you shifted sometimes. Really, Honda really has worked the bugs out of this thing, and like it shifted to fourth in, and I did not feel the shift. Of course, the engine tone changes then, so I could tell I was in fifth, and I know in this particular map, throttle map, which is the normal or standard, I know pretty much the speeds. For example, it shifts generally at 44. Watch. See, it just shifted to sixth. Now, if you have it in sport map, the throttle map, it will delay those shift points considerably. So it would still be, might be in okay, keep it in your lane. It might be in fourth gear at 60. It just depends on your load and your acceleration demand or throttle demand, etc. But I keep it, riding around town most of the time, I keep it in standard simply because the gas economy is phenomenal in standard. Now see, it held third just a little bit longer than normal that time and just quickly shifted from fourth to fifth. You know, it just depends on what it senses, the engine's output, your throttle demand, your speed, the incline that you're riding on. I think it takes all that into account. It works remarkably well, and has really in 2 years has not given me one bit of issue, not one. And one of the signs that you need a battery, and of course I just recently replaced the battery on this motorcycle, was it will not shift into gear. But that's one of your little warning. It'll start, but it won't shift. It won't shift into drive. And that's a little warning that your battery's getting low. They're too low. It happened to me. I thought I was going to get stuck at a restaurant over in Cocoa. After lunch, I came out. The bike started right up and will not go and drive. It had been a little balky a few times before, just I guess as a warning, and I didn't pay attention. I thought I was able. I actually had to call a friend who was getting ready to come with a jumper cable, and then I managed to get it into drive. And once it got into drive, it shifted just fine all the way home. Of course, I immediately went and bought a battery and put it in before I rode it again. But other people I know that have this bike tell me that about every 2 to 2.5 years you're going to need a battery. And I went ahead and replaced it with the OEM Yuasa. Just to be on the safe side, I paid a little bit more for the Yuasa. I think it was $119, I think, which seems to me to be a little high for a motorcycle battery, but maybe that's par for the course these days. I don't know, with inflation. Well, here we are at Target. Go in and have a cup of coffee with the boys, and I'll see you guys on the way home. Okay. Done with coffee, or in my case, orange juice. Gotta get some new, gotta shop for some new gloves. These are getting a little threadbare. Whoops, forgot my key. Can't really dig for it in my pocket with the glove on. This corner always bothers me because it is in essence a blind corner, and blind corners are not a good thing. Kind of, you don't have any idea whether someone's coming into your lane, going around there. You know, we gotta treat them with caution. Yep. So I'm always ready for anything when I go around that corner. I like to be able to at least see a little bit around the corner when I'm on a motorcycle, so I can prepare if something bad happens a little bit and have a little time to prepare. don't know if I've said anything about this windshield. This is my third windshield that I've put on the stock windshield. I replaced it with a generic, no-name eBay windshield, which was okay, but wasn't really satisfactory. Then I replaced it with a, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this correctly, Puig, P-U-I-G windshield that had the clip-on visor on the top, and it was better, but I still got a lot of buffeting in this area right here, a lot of swirling and just really strong buffeting from both of those windshields and the stock windshield too. And then I went ahead and sprang for the expensive option, a little bit more expensive, the Madstad Engineering out of Brooksville, Florida. And man, let me tell you, it is the bomb. First of all, it's harder to install because you have to put this bracket on, which means you have to take off some of these side panels. And so it's a little bit of a pain in the butt to install, but let me tell you something, worth every penny. No buffeting at all in here, none. The angle is adjustable. It goes up as you can. This is the 22-inch model, and let me tell you, it is by far the best windshield that I've had, by far. So, cannot recommend it enough. As you see, it comes with a whole new bracket. It's got this bar so you can put things on it. The height is adjustable, so I've got it about almost as high as it'll go. It's about right. This is level with my mouth, which is kind of the way where I like it. But it really does a phenomenal job, breaking the flow of the wind, and because it's got these openings here, it reduces the turbulence to almost zero. I don't know the aerodynamics, but I'm just telling you, they've got it figured out. So I can't recommend them highly enough. I'll put a link to their to this windshield, or to their site. Actually, I put a link to their site on the description, and it's just it's a quality company that's making quality products. Again, it's probably a little bit more expensive than some of the generic windshields or even the Puig, but not that much more, and you kind of get what you pay for. So, Madstad Engineering. And, they're not paying me to say this, of course not. I bought it with my own money, but just think a great deal of it. Really am happy with it. This area is just almost totally calm, absolutely calm, a calm zone. You see, it's not blowing my glove at all. Just calm. The area right in front of my helmet is calm. And it's just makes it riding so much more comfortable. At 50 or above. Oh, what a beautiful morning for a ride. My goodness, they don't call it wind therapy for nothing. It just clears your head like nothing else. Man, those of you who ride understand. There's just nothing like it. I hope I'm able to do it for a long time. You never know, health considerations, but still, man. Got to be careful right here. As you can see, that pole is just hanging there by the wire. A drunk driver hit that night before last. And I guess they made a temporary repair just to get power back to folks. They still left the pole. Man, the force he must have hit that thing with to leave it to snap, to completely snap that pole in half. Wow. All righty.